everyone, and welcome to Racc Now. That's me, I'm your host, Joe Racc, and we have another great show for you today. Berkeley Township Councilwoman, host of Channel 21's The Forum, and my good friend Judy Noonan is my guest today. And you know when she's here we have a lot to talk about. We have to talk about her show, The Forum, which I recently attended and had a great time. We have to talk about, some things going on in the local community since she is a Berkeley Township Councilwoman. And, of course, the presidential election of 2016 with Trump and Hillary. Alright, we'll get to Judy in a minute. But now it's time for my favorite part of the show, the Racc Report. In the Racc Report today, let's start with last episode. I had WOBM's Sue Moll on with us. Not only did we have a great time, we played this really fun game called Bean Boozled. In case you missed it, watch the other video that's next to this, after this show. We had a really great time, and Sue was so nice enough that she wrote an article about it, which is now featured on the WOBM website, Facebook page, and Twitter page, with a little article about the show, how much fun Sue had, and the video of us playing the Bean Boozled game. So, log on to the WOBM website and Facebook page to check that out. Thank you so much, Sue, and you're welcome back here anytime. I had a great time with you. Alright, now moving on from Sue to me. What a transition. I was recently in the city and was lucky enough to meet the one and only Whoopi Goldberg. Yeah, Whoopi Goldberg. EGOT winner. That means she won an Emmy, a Grammy, an Oscar, and Tony. That is real talent. I was in the city seeing a talk show with a few of my friends, and we stumbled upon Whoopi, the one and only Whoopi. There was nobody there except me and my two other friends. She came over to us, she couldn't have been nicer, snapped a few pictures, actually gave my friend a hug, because he really wanted one, and then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, swarms of people saw Whoopi and came up to her. She couldn't have been nicer to everyone that she already was, and it was really an honor to meet her. I really had no words, I was kind of in shock, so the only thing I could ask for was a picture, and I was like, I love you, Whoopi, and she said she loved me back. And there was actually a woman there with a camera, who Whoopi figured, wanted a selfie or wanted to take a picture with her. But the woman just asked her for a picture of Whoopi just standing there. So, that was kind of odd. But it was a really great time meeting Whoopi. So, and now from Whoopi to the Jersey Shore House. You all remember that show with Snooki and the situation? Well, recently I went to Seaside Heights and got to tour the Jersey Shore House. And yes, look, I got a picture with the duck phone, but after going there, and seeing the show a few years ago, I washed my hands immediately afterward. You never know what's in that house. And finally, switching over to politics, Hillary and Trump, they're all in the news right now. Hillary for the Democrats, Trump for the Republicans, obviously. And when you hear them at rallies and speeches, you hear Trump's theme song, which is through the Rolling Stones, Start Me Up. And you hear Hillary Clinton's, which is Rachel Platten's fight song. And yeah, I understand. Those are great choices. And I know Trump's had a few others. He had REM's It's the End of the World. But, they didn't want him using that, so he's been switching around songs. So, for Donald, if you're watching this, here's a few choices. Maybe you should try out Donald. Okay? Here we go. I think Donald's number one choice for his campaign song should be Billy Joel's Big Shot. You all remember that song, Big Shot? You gotta be a big shot. That's Trump. So I think he should go with that one. But if not, many people don't like Trump, and they think he really is crazy. So he could either go with Aerosmith's Crazy, or he could go with the other crazy song, which is Crazy for Feeling, So Trump, that's a few options. And for Hillary, I don't think Rachel Platten's fight song should be her campaign song. I think there's a lot of other choices. You know what? I narrowed it down to just one. Elton John's The Bitch Is Back. I think that's great. I think that's what it is, because if she's in office, the bitch is back. Hey. We're going to go, and when we come back, I'll be back with my guest, Judy Noonan. Everybody stick around. We'll be right back. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Racc Now. I'm Joe Racc, and I'm here right now with my special guest, Berkeley Township Councilwoman and host of the hit Channel 21 show, The Forum, Judy Noonan. Judy, so nice to have you here.
Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it. I'm very excited about coming.
I know. This is my 3rd episode. You're my 3rd guest. It's so nice to have you here.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. So let's start off. Before we start talking about anything, we want to mention that today is National Donut Day. So, of course, I had to stop at my favorite donut shop in Bayville, New Jersey, which is Go Nuts from Donuts. If you remember episode 1, I interviewed Cheryl from Go Nuts from Donuts, who is the owner. They are really great. These are just some of them what they have. They have cotton candy and cookies, and look at all that, Judy.
Oh, my God.
You said you're on a diet.
There goes one thigh. Oh, my God. They're great looking. Oh, God.
Everyone have a donut today. And, summer's just right around the corner, so I said, hey, what's the best way? Have a little drink.
Hey.
Pretend we're sitting by the pool. Okay. So, Judy, let's get started.
Okay.
So you host The Forum on Channel 21.
Yeah.
For maybe some people who've never seen it, or, you're going on your 3rd episode as well, because it's kind of new. Tell everyone a little bit what it's about.
Well, the first forum we had was about the animals. The reason I decided to do it, because a lot of people don't read their newsletters, don't watch the town hall meeting. So I wanted to give information out. The first episode was about the coyotes, which are a very serious issue. So we brought on the animal control,
yes,
which I felt was very happy. Then the next one was about the vets, which is very close to my heart.
Mm-hmm.
Which I thought was really good because I wanted to honor the vets and I wanted the young people to really take a look at who defended this country and who is responsible for their independence sometimes.
And it was on Veterans Day.
And my husband died in Vietnam and my daughter never got to know her father. So I felt that this story was very special to my heart.
That's right.
I wanted to really somehow recognize the vets.
Mm-hmm.
Our next one is the prosecutor, Coronado, which is coming on probably next week. And this is a really special show about drugs, young people, and I think that people are going to be really pleased with the show.
And if you tune in, you will see someone else in the audience.
Oh, yes.
Wink, wink.
I also want to thank Joe for being my inspiration.
Oh, thank you, Judy.
From coming on the chat. Really was. When I saw that, I thought, I would like to do something like that.
Oh, thank you, Judy.
But on a little different level.
Yes, exactly. Hey, it's the idea that took off. Now, how did it actually start? You just mentioned that, you came on my old show and you kind of got inspired. But how did it all come about?
Well, because I wanted to get information out, and I felt that the people, they watched Channel 21, and we had what I said in the beginning, people don't always read the paper, they get misinformation, and I thought this was a good way. We had a live audience,
yes,
and they could ask questions, and that's all. Because of really what went on in school, what you did in your show is really the way I decided to get the information out. We do the town hall meeting, but sometimes that's really so formal.
Yes.
And a lot of people don't get to ask questions. I wanted to so people could ask questions.
Now, when I was there, and then your other 2 shows prior, when people get up because you have someone in the audience, handing around the mic, and ask you the questions, you smile. I can imagine that people are asking questions and they're interested. And I was there, and when Coronado was there and they was asking him questions, people were doing a lot of really? And because he can't shoot out facts about, sexting and heroin and all this different stuff. If you watch it, I don't want to go, give it all away if someone watches it. But people were like, really? Wow. So do you get a little hey, this is great that I am giving information out to people in a fun way. I'm interviewing a live audience, questions.
That's the whole thing. People, I feel, I just was today in the nail salon, and people talked about the shows. When I mentioned I was coming on your show, I believe people need to be informed. There's a lot of elderly abuse going on also. I asked what subjects they wanted to know. And the fact is they watch the TV. Not everybody, they'll tell me, I didn't read the paper, and not everybody gets the Asbury Park Press. Not everybody reads all the news, and I found live shows gave dialogue.
That's right.
And people told me today they like being informed, that I tell them everything. People forget, I am a senior, but seniors are old, not stupid. And I have to tell you.
We agree with you 100%.
And there's a lot of us, and the information, they related to it a lot. And they're all looking for the new show.
Well, that's great. Now, the new show is coming up. Do you have anything in the back of your mind, any spoilers you can give out of any future shows, or what you have in mind for anything?
Not
at the moment.
Not
Okay.
at the moment.
All right. Well, we're good with the ones we have. Now, switching gears a little bit, you're doing the forum. You also are a Berkeley Township Councilwoman, and Judy and I, we're friends on social media, so I see Judy is all over the place. She's at every event. You're committed. So what is your next project coming up?
The newest project that I decided I want to go, we have a lot of our people still overseas. And there's a gentleman called Lloyd Mulligan. What he does is he sends things over to our guys, food, clothes, cards, and it's very expensive to do that. And he's been doing it for years. So I also wanted to do a double-edged sword kind of thing. I wanted to have an art show. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of talented people in Ocean County, at least in our area, but also a lot of talented vets. So I want to do an art show showing the talent of some of our vets in the area.
Well, that would be great, Judy.
But some of the artists that we have in the area, and it'll be a little charge, but the money goes to Lloyd Mulligan to pay.
Well, that would be wonderful.
It's $100 to ship over.
Yeah.
And he's been paying it out of his pocket. A lot of it. He gets some donation. I'm not going to say that.
Okay.
But you have to read some of these letters, and the one thing it sends in the end, don't forget us.
Yeah.
You have to understand, though, whether you believe in a war or not, those are
right.
our brothers, sisters, husbands, wives, children, still overseas.
That's right.
You can never forget them.
No.
That's very special to me.
I know it is. No, I know it is, Judy.
Very special.
And that's why you did, your Veterans Day show on the forum, and that's, it's big. And look, we have so much coming up. We just had Memorial Day, all this stuff that, we celebrate all our wonderful men and women across seas. So when that event takes place, and we will, keep you informed on this show when that it is. Judy will let me know.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so everyone, take a hold, take a little break, have a little snack. We're going to go on break, and when we come back, I'm going to talk more with Judy Noonan. There's something going on in the area about Comcast. So Berkeley Township's Judy Noonan and I are going to be discussing what's happening with Comcast next. Stay right there. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Racc Now. I'm here with my good friend, Councilwoman Judy Noonan. Good to have you here, Judy.
Thank you, Joe. Happy to be here.
All right, so let's get to the next topic, which is kind of going on locally in the Berkeley Township area, is your Comcast dispute. What is going on? You tell me what is going on, because I was listening to the radio the other night, and I heard you on Town Square tonight, and you were talking about it there, but I wanted you to come here and, talk about it live.
Comcast is like a thorn on a lot of people's side. Some people are happy with it, but over the years, people have been complaining about the equipment, the cost, the prices going up every time they get their bill. Mm-hmm. We had so many complaints, so we decided to, contact Comcast. A representative came down and came to one of the associations, and we went over some of the problems, and I really didn't feel that the problems were resolved, and I can show you thousands of complaints. So I found an attorney. We decided to file a suit against Comcast. Well, we did a class action suit. Maybe it wasn't the best thing to do, but anyway, we got to end up having over 1,000 signatures. Okay,
wow.
Not just the senior comedian, but every time I would stand on line someplace, then people would call me from both sides of town. You stand on line, the complaints about the equipment, personally myself, $200 bills. They have what they call the triple play.
Yes.
And the phone doesn't work.
The
worst nightmare is the telephone. And I have handicapped people if the phone goes out. And when we had the Sandy storm.
That's important.
When you had the Sandy storm, Comcast, you didn't have power. You had no phone. See, that's the bad thing about the whole thing. And Verizon, everybody says, well, why doesn't Verizon come in?
Or Optimum.
Well, I'm going to get to that real quick. Verizon, we had them come down. This is important. A lot of people want. Verizon is over in Toms River. Some people have it. They decided, we had the engineers come down, and people wanted Verizon. You could get it on your computer, but you couldn't get the TV. Mm-hmm. So we've been going on, I don't know how long now, over a year or so, trying to get this lawsuit done. So we finally had a meeting with a Philadelphia lawyer.
Really?
And the representative of Comcast from this area. We offered a special thing we thought would work. We contacted the governor's office, Senator Connors, a lot of people we went to for help. Nobody really wanted to help us too much.
Really?
But went to Consumer Affairs, went in front of the freeholders, sent letters to the governor, talked to the lieutenant governor. But finally, when we had the meeting, they have a contract with the town of Berkeley, which is fine. It's a franchise. You have to understand that. They pay a certain amount of money. It says non-exclusive. Well, part of it is true. You can get DirecTV. When we finally did meet with them, we talked about it. And like I said before, we offered something we thought was workable, what did not involve money. A Philadelphia lawyer could care less what I really had to say. Really. So they left. We went into federal court. We went there once. We're going back. We're going to change the plea to how it's plain language contracts. But here comes the part that really took the air out of my balloon.
Tell me, Judy.
Tell
me about your balloon.
Well, when you're trying so hard, and sometimes...
No, I understand. You really are. I mean, you're trying to help everyone.
And sometimes you're innocent about things, and you really can't believe when, political things... So somebody gave me a phone number to someone in Optima. So I made the infamous phone call. And I'll tell you, the gentleman said, "How'd you get my number?" And I said, "I'm not going to tell you. I won't even tell you the man's name."
Okay.
But here's what I heard. "We have an agreement not to come into Berkeley Township." I go, "What?"
Really?
That means no competition. They also have it up in Freehold. I go, and as far as I know, the BP, Public Utilities agreement, my attorney says, "I'd like to see this agreement." He told me. Somebody said, "Well, what? They would have to do cable." I understand that.
Yeah.
But they already had this agreement. Forget about whether they're going to put cable down or not. Here's how I personally feel. First of all, you got to pay to die in New Jersey. You got to pay to leave New Jersey.
That's right.
You got to pay to
everywhere.
do this, pay to do that. You got to pay your taxes in the town. You have to pay the school taxes. You have to pay the freeholder taxes.
That's right.
And now Comcast, who has really, truthfully, to me, it's a monopoly, can keep raising the prices, do whatever they want to do, because there is no competition.
No, you're absolutely right. Well, I want to tell you this, Judy. I personally, at my house, have Comcast. I want to tell you that. We had it for years, switched, went to Direct, did not like it. We then went back to Comcast, and like you said, they got you trapped. We then went to, Direct, and we had the dish, the antenna and all that. And now, if you and I, when do you watch movies and TV? When it rains, when it snows, when you can't, you don't want to leave the house, and it would go off. So we said, forget the antenna, let's get Comcast again. So we've had Comcast, we have the phone and the play plan. But what we don't like is that, first of all, they have you trapped, as you just said, and B, they're not that great.
The phone, you mean your phone works all right?
No, our phone altogether doesn't work.
Breaks up, cuts you off.
Yeah, cuts you off, and it's like, what happened? And the other thing with the TV is that if I'm going to hit information, it always freezes. And what I have to do is unplug it.
No.
And it's like, you know what? They got you trapped because you don't want the dish or the antenna. Me personally, I don't know about, everyone else that lives in our town, but most people do not have it because it doesn't work that great. I mean, when you get it, it's crystal clear. But if it rains or it snows or something, who the heck wants that? You get no TV. But they need competition. They need Optimum. They need Verizon. They need Fios. Whatever it is, Time Warner. They need someone to come in.
Time Warner's up north. Well, I talked to Verizon again.
Okay.
And they were in the middle of the strike. He was Mr. Kavanaugh, and he was very kind. We had the engineers came. We were all ready to go. I had Verizon on my computer, not the phone, because the cable only went so far. But the point is, Comcast was not even rated, if you go into the stock market or whatever, they're not even rated very good.
No.
And they do not care. But what really bothered me when I heard Optimus say that, and I personally, it doesn't matter whether you're Democrat, Republican, Comcast, it's political all the way up to the top. When I heard that about, and the people that I went to about this, and I will tell you, I care more about my constituents. And people, everybody's the seniors. No. It ain't just the seniors.
It's not just the seniors.
I pay $200 a month.
That's right. It's the whole Berkeley town. I don't live in the senior community. I mean, it's the whole general community.
Really bothered me. They made a nice new place. They told me, we're trying to improve customer service. You call in, you get pushed around, they don't come. But the point is, I said, well, if you're going to take our money, why can't you at least put the people in this country and not over in the Philippines? I'm sorry.
That's right. No,
you're going to take my money. I want the money to stay in this country.
Well, when we were having problems with my TV, what happened was we have Comcast, and in my bedroom I have a TV, and it was a red screen. And I watched TV the night before. I usually sleep with it on. Anyway, I get home, and it was red screen. So I was busy that day. Come home. I call Comcast. They don't know what's going on, blah, blah, blah. I was like, okay.
They're going to send a repairman to your house.
Yeah, well, not a repairman, so they said to unplug it. So I plug it back in. It's still red. I said, I don't know what to do. They says, oh, well, then they transfer me to someone else, and they ended up saying, well, you just need a new box. It was like a whole big charade. They had to go through this for an hour, and it's like someone who didn't speak English. They don't even know what's happening. I mean, they should be on service, and it transferred to other departments because they didn't know what my problem was. The screen is red. I read them what it said. I read them my box number. I read them my serial number. I did what they were supposed to do, but they got you by the horns. They don't care. They'll keep you on the phone 4 hours.
I know, this is the problem. I disconnect. I sit there and I watch it. I hit the remote. I have to take the batteries out the remote, put it back.
That's right.
Now, I don't know what the answer is, but what we had suggested when we had this infamous meeting, this is what my attorney, and he had spoken to someone up in the Consumer Affairs in Trenton, to maybe have someone oversee when the people call in so they wouldn't be shoved around.
Yeah.
It was about the bill. The bill would go up $100, $50, and the answers were horrible.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like you're a captive audience, and that's really what disturbed me. And even when I went in front of the freeholders over carry antitrust law here.
Yeah.
And it's a monopoly, and nobody seems to care.
That's right.
And that's what really bothers me, that, between just so many things. And this is just like, you have to pay. That's just it. We're not the golden goose here.
No, that's right. Well, I think this is a great conversation. We are going to take a break, and we're going to come back and switch gears. But I just want to end. Is there anything else you want to say about this Comcast suit? I mean, nothing's settled.
Well, no, we're going back to court.
Okay.
It's federal court. We're trying to keep it in New Jersey.
Okay.
And we are going to change the complaint to the way I forget what he calls it, the plain reading or something, and we're going to see if we can change it. We're trying to keep it in New Jersey. They want to go into arbitration, but I still get people calling me. Judy, what's going on? Can you help us? I don't know what to say.
Yeah.
Thank you.
But it's a great, it's a great conversation to have, and I mean, you got to get out there and you got to make your voice heard. Like Judy said in the beginning of this part of the show, she said people came out there at first and they did how many signatures? 1,000 signatures.
1,000.
I mean, that's are people that really care.
Actually, the complaints.
The complaints, of course, because
the complaint is this thick. But I mean, actually, the complaints that the people made,
mm-hmm.
they got a copy of each person's complaint. And Senator Connors was right there with us. But the complaint also was with the signatures, not just the signature, their complaint.
Well, everybody, you got to get out there, got to make your voice heard, and, talk to one another and make sure this all gets settled, because who wants to deal with this? But here's what we're going to have to deal with, a commercial break. We'll be right back, everybody. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Racc Now. I'm here still with Judy, and we're having a really good time. I love having you here, Judy.
My pleasure. I always have a good time.
We always have a good time together. We went to an event. I'm going to tell them real quick. We went to an event, how many weeks ago? A month ago, and it was like an Elvis night thing.
Oh yeah.
We always have a good time.
That guy is great.
He was good. Jim Barone.
Yes. He was
shout out to him, sir.
Voted the best Elvis in New Jersey.
He was good.
Yeah.
He was good. The only thing I was disappointed in, I wish he sang Viva Las Vegas. But other than that, I have no complaints. Yeah. Anyway, so back to the show. Welcome back. So now let's dive in. We talked about local stuff. Let's talk about what's going on in the world all around us, which is the politics, the election of 2016. We got Hillary and Bernie still in, but, it's mostly Hillary, and Trump is now officially the Republican nominee. So, Judy, I wanted to know your personal opinion on the election. It's a big, big question, but what do you think about what's going on right now?
That's a loaded question.
It is.
It's a really, I personally, maybe because I'm a little older and I know where this country has been, I'm really afraid of where we're going.
Yeah.
And I have to tell you, Trump, maybe he sounds a little boisterous, but let me tell you, he has hit the nail on the head on many issues, okay? And immigration seems to be a very sore spot. Well, we all welcome immigrants, but I think
from any country.
But they have to come in legally, and I wish they would speak English. English should be the language that is spoken here. This is our country. Yes, you can speak a couple of languages. The border, the drugs that are coming in are horrible. I haven't heard. I think Hillary believes in open borders. Bernie really hasn't talked about it. I get really...
And we know Trump's feelings.
Yes. And a lot of people talk about, well, he doesn't know what's going on overseas at jobs. People should stop and think. We had steel being done here. We don't anymore. We had things being manufactured. I've worked in a factory myself. Well, I was a shop steward at Fabergé. Everything is going overseas. I don't care who you are. Black, white, green, yellow. You need a job. Okay, right. And I asked Bernie one question about socialism. Venezuela, please, young people, pay attention. What happened over there? Socialism. It did not work without capitalism.
Yeah,
you have young people. You need to pay attention. And when you don't even know the history of,
but Bernie's a communist. He's a communist.
Right. He took his honeymoon in Russia. Please wake up. Do you know what goes on in Russia? They sit in their jobs. There's no incentive.
It has nothing to do with being president. But I met Bernie Sanders, and he was not a very nice man. I didn't face to face. I saw him, and I'm not a fan. But there were maybe 5 or 7 people out there that are fans of his, and they had his posters, and he was coming out of a building and I just happened to be walking by, and they had a few paparazzi, not too many, and then his car, and 5 people with posters, and he walked by them, couldn't give them the time of day, nothing, and just got in his car and left. And I tell you, those people were pissed, and I don't, and they said, oh,
maybe he was in another place.
Well, yeah, but what I'm saying is that, people, they're getting aggravated about, it's little things like that. The Democrats, obviously, they're like Bernie, they switch right over to Hillary in a minute if he's out of the race.
Well, some of them said they'd go for Trump other than vote for Hillary.
Well, that's true, too.
Because even Trump will change a lot of things that they don't like. The Washington elite don't like Trump because he's going to really shake them up a little bit.
He is going to shake them up.
Some people get too set in their ways. I'm a little bit in politics, and I'm not really a politician, and I see things that I don't particularly like myself.
Yeah.
So, but this is the election of our country is really in a bad place. A lot of things have to be taken care of. ISIS. People really need to know the history of our country. People really need to wake up. You just can't get on the bandwagon or vote just because it's a Democratic Party. Pay attention.
But I think when Trump talks, I necessarily like him and I listen. And like he says he wants to bomb the hell out of ISIS. I believe if he's president, that's what he will do. I think everyone else, they're like tiptoeing around the big issues, especially Hillary. And before...
No, especially Obama.
Well... He's not going to be there anymore. But if Hillary's there, it would be like an Obama term.
Well, the problem is, the one thing that Trump says, and I think it's the key, these last years, no one has felt proud of their country.
Yeah.
He's making you want to be proud of your country.
That's right.
He's sometimes a little rough. But he loves this country, and he's a businessman, and that's the key. But he knows what's at stake.
And what he said was he doesn't know everything. Even though some people think he might, he doesn't know everything. He's going to elect a cabinet and a group of people that knows what they're talking about. He's not going to put Ben Carson in charge of something that isn't other of health. He's not going to put Chris Christie in he knows if he's aligning these people, whether you like them or not, he's going to put the best people in the spots for the job.
Well, he admitted that he needed someone to guard him. It's like anyone that goes into a job. You hire people that will make you look good or smarter than you. When I was even playing tennis, I played tennis against a girl in college who was 10 times better than me. Why? She made me better and work harder.
That's right. Absolutely, I agree.
But I wish the people in college and the millennials would really pay serious attention. You don't realize what's on the line here.
Our future's on the line, that's what it is.
And when I see things where people don't even know who was the first president of the country or where the Mayflower was. I saw
or they don't know when Memorial Day, what it is, or 4th of July. People look at you like you're crazy.
And they don't realize their freedom. And I find that sad because you have to know your history of your country. You should really know where you came from. It's because history will repeat itself. Do you remember? Somebody didn't even know this, who fought the Civil War.
Oh, my. That's scary. But, I want to tell you
but
this,
it's
Judy.
True.
I want to tell you this, Judy, because I didn't tell you yet. I want to tell everyone this, is that I'm a college student at OCC, and the OCC paper called the Viking News took a poll, and it was Bernie, Hillary, Trump, Cruz was still in, and voted. Number 1 was Bernie, which that is
made my case.
Scary. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Made your case. Number 2 was Trump. Number 3 was Cruz at the time. Now he's out. Number 4, with like maybe 3%, was I'd rather not vote. And Hillary had 0. But the fact is, first of all, that anyone's not voting is sad. And B, that Bernie is number 1. All these colleges, he's promising all this stuff, but it's going to a hole. I mean, even if he's not it and Hillary's it, that people, these millennials, they want to vote for him.
Well, this is the problem. They just don't. These are people who are not really in the working world yet, some of them, and they're living at their home with their parents, that they don't realize what's at stake. The fact is, if it's all right to talk about, when Trump was giving his rally and people were throwing and spitting and flying Mexican flags, it's your right to go and have a convention or a rally without demonstrations. This is really sad. People have a right to have an opinion on both sides. I didn't see them going to Hillary. I didn't see them going. You have to understand what Bernie is saying is not realistic. It's socialism. Please look it up. It does not work. You cannot have school for nothing. Even Hillary wouldn't do that.
Yeah. Well, before we change subject, I was just saying, before the show, I said, in the beginning of the show, I said that Trump's campaign song is the Rolling Stones' Start Me Up, and Hillary's song is Rachel Platten's Fight Song. So I made my own personal opinion of what their songs should be. I think Trump's song should be Billy Joel's Big Shot. It's got to be a big shot. And I think Hillary's, I think you're going to like this, I think Hillary's should be Elton John's The Bitch Is Back.
Oh, yeah. I mean, they both have a lot of baggage.
They certainly do.
And this thing about the school, when he was doing it, when you go out and you're trying to establish a business and marketing, that's what he did when he did this issue with the college and stuff like that. People don't understand marketing. But I think he has the country best at heart. If I thought there was somebody better, I have to tell you, if I thought, even Obama, I had faith that Obama, when he first came in, he was going to make the change. He made a change, all right. He divided this country. I'm sorry.
Yeah. All right. Well, hey, that's politics for you. That's what's really going on, and that's what people really are talking about. Now, to you, Judy. Let's talk to Judy Noonan. First off, this is simple, Judy. What are you doing this summer? Do you have any plans other than work?
I'm hoping to take a trip to Seattle, Washington.
Very nice.
Yes, it'll be my first time since...
Special reason why?
Well, my husband passed, and then I had to wait for my lovely little cat to pass, and I said the moment that my poor cat died of 22 years, I was going to take a trip. I've dedicated the last couple of years to being a councilwoman, coalition, I'm president of the coalition. And I hate to leave because there was always a meeting going on, but I said I need to take time for myself and have a good time.
Good.
So I'm going.
So you're going to Washington with friends?
No, by myself to meet my niece out there. I see, and then I'll go to Florida. Judy. I have to take time because I take everything too serious.
Yeah, you got to have a little me time.
Yes, and that's why I'm going.
Little me time.
And it's beautiful up there, and they're right on the water, so,
Oh, very nice, Judy. Well, I hope you have a good time.
Thank you.
I can't wait to see your pictures online. Okay, so now we're going to play a little game, everybody. So this is going to be fun. It's kind of like a get to know Judy, but it's just like a few questions. So the name of the game is called, because Judy's last name is Noonan, the game is called Noon In or Noon Out. So what's going to happen is I'm going to say... You were looking at me like, what the hell? I'm going to read off a couple things, a list of things, so you tell me if you would ever do them or you do them, or if you say noon in. If you've never done them or you don't want to do them, like for instance, one is skydiving. If you would never want to do it, say noon in. If you don't, say noon out. Okay,
Noon
Judy,
out.
okay, well, let's start with that. Skydiving.
Noon out.
Noon out. Why? You don't want to do that?
No, I'm a little too old for that right
Me
now.
neither. I don't want to do. I'm not
No.
old, but I don't want to do heights. Singing in the shower. Do you sing in the shower noon in or noon out?
Noon out, no. I don't want to scare my neighbors.
Dancing with the Stars. Would you ever do that? Dancing with the Stars. Noon in, noon out.
Noon in.
All right. Hey, not bad. Do you dress up for Halloween?
Noon in.
Okay. What have you dressed up as in the past? Can you say?
I just had a picture. I forgot. It's just, no, I forgot. Vampire.
Oh, nice. Well, I was Trump this past
Yeah.
Halloween. That's always fun. Okay, swimming with dolphins.
Oh, noon in.
All right, nice.
Love it.
Singing karaoke.
Yes, noon in.
Okay, noon in. You got a
Can't sing,
karaoke
but I
song?
do.
You got a karaoke song? Well, don't sing in. You're
No.
not singing in the shower, so you
No.
got to sing karaoke.
No.
What? Do you have a song? A go-to
No,
song?
not yet. Not
Oh,
yet.
well, let's go karaoke,
Yeah.
Judy. Riding roller coasters.
Noon in.
Really?
I've done it. Sure.
Well, no, you've done it, but would you do it still?
Sure.
Oh, I can't stand roller coasters. Okay, and last but not least, ever, would you run for president?
Noon out.
Oh, no. And Joe Racc's out, too. All right, everybody, that's all the time we got today. Thank you so much, my
Oh,
good
my
friend
pleasure.
Judy Noonan.
Thank
Judy,
you.
I love you so much.
Thank
you
you for
so much
having
for
me.
coming
It was really
on.
fun.
And make sure you catch the forum. It's on local channel 21. You know, Judy, you're all over. You're doing everything, and you're very special.
Oh,
and you know how
thank you
much.
very
You know how I
much.
feel about you.
Thank you.
All right, everybody. So thank you to Judy. We hope you all had a great time with us, and we're gonna go munch on some donuts. We're gonna have a little more to drink, and we'll see you soon. We'll be right back with more Joe Racc Now. And welcome back to Joe Racc Now. My special thanks to my guest, Judy Noonan, for stopping by today. I had a really great time with her. And I hope you all had a great time watching. I will see you soon, but from here to now, I'm Joe Racc.
It's my house.